Alright, so y'all that know me from Facebook or know me personally may know this truck. I think I was calling it Big Bertha at one point. Anyway, it's a 84, it's lifted, and I drove it for a year, but well, I decided to sell it, and well, my cousin took me up on it, so it's actually sold. She's supposed to pick it up the beginning of next week. So, a couple of things I need to do to it before she does, and the biggest thing is the rocker panels. Whoever lifted it and had the oversized, they had 31s on it with the wide wheels. I have 30s with narrow wheels, so I don't have a clearance issue with the amount of lift, but they had cut the fenders and cut the ends of the rocker panels out, filled them with spray foam. So currently, if you drive it in the rain, water splashes right up the rocker panel, right up through, out the speaker hole. There's no speakers, so it comes out the speaker hole and right on your feet. So we're going to see if we can take care of that. I've got some spray paint. If I have time, I'll shoot a little spray paint on the hood, make it look a little better, and on the roof. But first and foremost is going to be the rocker panels. So let me see. I need to give me some tools together and start by taking off the fender. And while I got the fender off, let's see. I think, yeah, I still need to change this door hinge as well. Or it needs something. Door's sagging a bit. Alright, so there's probably about 4 bolts in this fender. So let me get my tools. Okay, y'all suddenly got shorter. So got you down here where you can see. Bring you in a bit. So as you can see, there's a big gaping hole in the rocker panel right here. Okay, bring it back out. Oops, wrong way. So I have these complete front cab sections here that I don't figure I'll ever use. So probably the easiest thing to do is figure out where I need to cut this and put it on there. Now, however, the flange that's supposed to attach to is also missing. So we may have to get a little creative. We may have to add a piece of metal back here, because the back side of this is hollow. So, or the other option would be keep it simple and just cut a piece of metal that'll fit in that hole and fill it up. Really need to see if I can wash all this dang mud out of here, because we don't want to seal that up in there. So that part of the project may be this evening's deal. Get to it, wash all the mud out of there and off of the in behind the fender, because there is no inner fenders. May see if I can find a set of those and throw on it. I don't have much time to mess with it though, so not sure if this is the best way to go about it or not. So this is bent up. Welsh crank, and ain't been started in probably a week or more. Well, that's great. The power steering's not wanting to work again. It takes spells where it's like intermittent. This is a professional claw style body hammer here. So I think it might be easier just to cut me a piece to shape and weld on there, and that way if it ever does end up with a bigger tire, there won't be a clearance issue. Because trying to put the rocker back on there, there's nothing. There's supposed to be metal coming down here in the corner to weld it to, and it's not there. So that would mean I'd have to cut a piece and make to go there anyways. If I got to do that, I might as well just make a piece and patch over that. Okay, so what I have here, usually I use construction paper, but I'm being lazy. This was a piece of cardboard, corrugated cardboard that then got wet and came apart, so it's just the outer layer. So almost as good as construction paper. A lot of people don't have the good construction paper without going and buying it specifically. So if you got cardboard, that'll work for a template. A lot of people, that's what they use, just because that's what they got. It's handy. So there it is. So we're going to hold that up there, and we're going to hammer around our perimeter. Uh-oh. It moved on me. Dang it. I don't think I'm getting a good imprint anyway. There we go. Construction paper is a little more sturdy and stable, so alright, kind of gives me a rough idea. I'll get my scissors and cut that out and see if I can make a piece like that. Okay, so now we have our cardboard. We're going to cut it. And the top line's a little bit hard to see. I'm not even sure. So I know I done moved y'all, but let me check the fit here. So our top line, we just need to kind of, oh, there it is, okay. Take that much off. Let me double check. Now I'm not necessarily going to butt weld this, so it's going to just kind of lap. And yes, this is the top out of a burn barrel that I cut out, so it's basically scrap metal. It's good metal. It's a little heavier than the sheet metal, so we're going to line that side up right there with an existing edge. draw out the rest of it. And then we'll freehand cut it. I do use my other hand as a guide. With the straight edge, I'd have got a little cleaner cut, but time I weld it, ain't nobody gonna really see this anyways. It's mostly just to keep the rain and mud out. One reason I didn't do a straight edge is because these weren't exactly straight lines. They had a little curve to this one, that one was. Our piece is straight enough. Now, I'm going to take this piece and test fit it on the passenger side. And if it fits, then all I got to do is flip it over and cut the passenger side. Well, I mean, it don't really have to flip over because it don't really matter. Okay, so I got our template for our other piece, and yeah, it's quite a bit bigger. So, like I said, they butchered it pretty bad over there. We can probably start off right there, and this comes in a little bit more, but that's all right. I'm gonna just let it ride. That'll just give me a little more to weld to. We're going to set this like so. That gives it a little bit more right there, and it'll be fine. Now for this one, since that is such a straight edge, I probably will use a straight edge. Just makes a cleaner, simpler cut. Now, whenever you're using a straight edge, I may have mentioned this before if y'all watch me do any plasma cutting, you got to allow 1/8 of an inch for your tip. See how much smoother and more efficient that was? Whoa, all my tin plates away. Don't need them anymore anyway. Okay. So that's got both pieces cut. Okay, a bit of a squirrel moment here. While I'm taking this out to wash it, I'm going to throw a little paint on the top of this fender, because it's one of the spots that I was going to paint. So as I've said, you know, knock it off your bench so you can add some scratches that need to be done. Anyway, as I've said before, I use brake parts cleaner and wipe down. I used to use paint thinner, but found out that that can actually leave film. So brake parts cleaner, clean any oils and waxes off, because I did do some waxing on this fender, believe it or not. And the paint that I used on there before is dollar store generic brown. It's not even metallic. And we got some crap down here needs some paint on it. That's ill prepped. Quick and dirty here. Now I just touched that corner up there, so I'm going to wipe that where my hand was touching, because the oils from your skin will keep your paint from sticking. So this was some of the last of the $3 Ollie's paint, because last time I was in there, all their paints was $5. And this is the good stuff. This is the Rust-Oleum with this professional sprayer nozzle. You got to pull that little lock off. So I'm just going to try and blend it in, because it's maybe a little darker. Definitely not a perfect match, but I think it'll look a little better than what I'm covering up. So okay. Now, I don't know if y'all can even see that, because the lighting out here is terrible. We're going to go back over with a second coat on this top, because it was pretty much primer. And we'll let that dry while we go wash on the truck and all that good stuff. Alright, y'all got kind of a unique perspective there. You're basically on the cab mount. But you gotta try and get this done. It's kind of cold today, but it was rainy yesterday and I'm running out of time. Alright, let's see here. We can do this little corner right here. Alright, now where else are we touching? Right here. Well, I may have to turn this down to lower heat. Okay. Oh, that made my little chair, but it's probably wet. Okay, so we've mixed up another batch of JB Weld. I already done the other side. And we're going to do this side. And we're just seam sealing pretty much. And so I tried to record the other side and my camera was on the wrong setting or something. Anyway, so I'll go back over everything I said. So we're just putting this to smooth out the weld seams and seal them up. And the reason I'm using JB Weld and not Bondo is because Bondo does not seal out moisture. And this might get some paint, you might get a little bed liner sprayed over it or something, but this itself will do the job if it doesn't get anything put over it. So, makes a good seam sealer. Reinforcements for the seam even though it doesn't need the strength. We just need the seam sealed up to where we're not getting any moisture in there, because that's the whole point of these little caps. So, you know, my welds, I'm sure aren't perfect. I'm sure there's some pinholes in there, so this will take care of any of that. And yeah, that's it pretty much. Just sealing the seams and smoothing it up somewhat, but nobody's really going to see this unless they're peeping in the wheel well. I mean, you know, but that should take care of that. The idiots that cut this off tried to fill it up with spray foam, which did not do anything pretty much. So alright, now I gotta go clean this up. Okay, you're about to see the quickest paint job ever, because well, I want to make it look better, but I don't have much time. So this is dollar store brown. And we have a little bit of Ollie's brown. That is a dark metallic. It's pretty good, pretty close to what the truck's supposed to have. This is by no means a proper prep spray or anything. We're just going to try and make it look a little bit better. I'm just going to do the hood for now, maybe the cowl. I don't have time to prep the roof. I hope to get it done by the end of the week, because she's supposed to come get it this weekend. So if you're wondering, this is just a fresh 220 grit sanding disc that I just folded over and turned into a piece of hand sandpaper real quick, because that's pretty much what I had available. Alright, now I have a little rust spot right here. So we're going to clean that down. There's actually a dent there, but as I said, this is not anything like what I should be doing, but it's what I'm doing. So we're going to prep by wiping this down where the little rust spot was. Little one over here too. And then we're going to shoot just a little bit of rust converter, or rust reformer as this is called. And then we will continue to wipe down the hood and mask our windshield. And by that I mean throw a blanket over it. This is initial wipe down to get the dust off. Slightly dampened, but I'll come back and see. This is just getting the roughest part. You know, you got to get a little spit on it to make sure that everything sticks. Okay, let me find my masking. Okay. Oh, gee whiz. Thankfully, there's no fender, so I can stand on the tire. Handily, is that an actual word, or did I just sort of make that up? So if you're looking at this, you know, watching this for a how-to, think of this as a how not to. You know, because we have a blanket full of dust here that we're using for masking. And yeah, that'll keep the fog off the windshield. Okay. Now round 2 of the wipe down. We'll do our quartering of our towel to give us 8 individual wiping surfaces that you can rotate and flip as you go. Alright. Because it doesn't take long till you need to find a new one. And flip again and reapply a little more. And splatter all over what you done wiped. It's okay, this stuff evaporates super quick. This brake part's clean. I've probably told y'all that before. That's what I use for paint prep degreasing. Is it the best thing to use? I don't know. Is it the cheapest and most convenient? Yep. So that's what I go with. I used to use rubbing alcohol. In fact, I still would, but I'm kind of out of it right now. Oh, screw sticking out there. Snag me. Now, also, some people may say, oh, you shouldn't be using those shop towels. You should be using a cotton cloth. I won't argue with that. That probably would be better. But like I said, this is more of a how not to do it and still make it look decent, I guess. We'll see. Anyway, good enough. Now, we're going to say we're going to make it look better. That's what we're going to say. Because, yeah, that's my disclaimer. So, we're going to take it up so I don't get the grill. Never mind that I got some on my hand. That's fine. I probably should have started away from me and came back towards me, and great. Splatter. Well, ain't nothing I can do about that now. Now let's do it lefty. Yeah, let's do the wiper arms too. Snazzy. Okay, so first, let me show y'all what I'm doing. Or why I am doing this, rather. So when you open this door, it drops. So you got that much play in the hinge. And it's mainly in this top hinge. Although, some of it seems to be in the door bolts themselves. Might just need to be tightened up. I have another hinge here, but may not need to be replaced. It may just need to be tightened. Oh, no. They're tight, but they're wiggling. Why is that? Okay. So, for some reason, we're going to take them off because something's not right. Maybe we need shorter bolts, some spacers, something. The great thing about these is with the fender off, you can access these door hinges easily. We're going to pull it off. You can see how much slack is actually in that hinge. Quite a bit. So we'll also see if we can shim it a little or something to tighten them up. Maybe just a couple of washers. But seeing as how I have the access here, I'm able to do this job with the door fully in place. So I have replaced this hinge once before, but it does have some slack in it. So our replacement hinge for our replacement hinge, that one's nice and tight. So we're going to see if we can find some washers, I guess, because that seems to not be tightening good. And the thing of it is, well, your threads don't go all the way up, but it shouldn't be bottoming out. But I'm going to find some washers and put it on it and see if that helps. We're going to try it without the washers. See if it was in the hinge. Or it could be the door itself. The threads are kind of on a plate type deal, but they don't move around on the door. They do, however, move around in here on that one. So I'm trying to get the ones tight in the door. That could be our problem. Huh. Two of our bolts are just complete crap. I bet that's the two I took out of there. Okay, so I guess I need to find a couple more bolts, because that seemed to tighten up good there. So I just need to find a couple more good bolts, get rid of these junkers, and we should be in good shape. Okay, got some good clean bolts here. And these actually came out of a door hinge, so. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here might seem a little dumb, but I'm going to actually open the door and lift up on it until I tighten that hinge down. That will take out any slack. Now, I may have gotten carried away and have it too high. Let's see how the door opens and closes now. Oh yes. That's what we wanted, because before it was not closing like that. Okay, great. So that took care of that. All right. Now that bottom hinge you can't do that with, because you can't get to those. But as y'all probably have already seen if you watch my channel, I'll take the door off by taking the fender off, then take these 6 bolts off, then take the door hinges and all off. Makes it much easier to change the door than trying to fish these bolts in here while holding the door. I have done it both ways, but this was by far the easier way. Alright, trying to finish up putting these fender wells back in. This has been needing to be done, and well, I haven't been over here in a minute, but we'll see. So we got these little square plugs, and our screw is not going to fit in that. Alright, I have the bigger plugs. The screw will fit in, but I don't think they're going to fit in the hole. These are tag plugs, and these will not fit in that hole. So that means I've got to find a screw that'll fit in this hole with a washer big enough that it'll hold that up there. Jeez. There's always got to be something complicated. Okay, so I found a little smaller screw, which means I need a smaller screwdriver, but I've got one right over there. So we just take and pop that little dude right up in there. Now we can take and this and run that right up in there. Like so. I need to take the fender and wash it off. Get all this crap out from up here, because, well, you know, that's kind of the whole purpose of putting this on there, is to prevent this, because this will eventually cause this to rust out. So, well, alright, we'll have to look at doing that, and then putting the fender back on. I don't know if I showed y'all any of putting this on. I'm trying to remember. Like I say, it's been a minute. Alright, I washed the inside of the fenders and realized these are, there was the sticker right here. So these are aftermarket fenders. And as I may have stated before, aftermarket parts are not as good as OEM, or, you know, most of y'all should know that, I guess. So to try to help this fender out, I'm going to clean the inside of it and put some undercoating on. Because even though we're putting the inner fender, stuff can still get in there. So I'm going to fold our towel up like we do, borders. And we're going to start up here because I didn't get that washed real good. Especially want to get this lip, because that was just coated mud, so we want it coated and undercoated. Alright, let's fold our rag. This front up here real good. Try to get the back of this real good too. You know, I mean, these fenders are not pristine by no means, but we want to keep them from rotting out since it's probably going to see some snow, which means salt, so I'm going to do whatever I can to help it out. All right. I usually use bed liner anymore, but I have a can of undercoating and this is a good place to use it. Hopefully it still sprays. I'll test spray before I start shooting. Not doing correctly. So what we'll do is pop that cap off and see if we can clean it. There we go. Now. There we go. Oh, crap, the wind's blowing like crazy out here. Catch it when the wind's not gusting too bad. Probably need to cover the inside of my light a little bit there. If I was smart, I'd take it out, wouldn't I? Alright, so that's one done. Got to do the other one. Now, if I really wanted to, make it really good, I would have took and cleaned all the little rusty spots in the bus converter and da-da-da, but I ain't got time for all that. So, that's one. I got to do the other one, and then we'll see if I get the other fender put on and all that good stuff. Alright, so we've got our fenders undercoated, and they're dry enough to go on there. So slide him in here Line him up right there. And back here. Over the top of those. And boom, fender. Throw a few bolts in that. Now, to get our fender alignment, we want to just like make sure that our door opens without hitting it. And we need to slide forward just a smidge. Can. Forward. Yeah. Alright. So what we're going to do, start this backward right here. We're going to hold forward on the fender until that runs down pretty much in the mark where it was before. And this one looks good now. Alright. Yeah, now that gives us a door gap. It's a bit of a large door gap, but I'm not building a show truck. I just want to make sure the door functions. So this thing's going to see wintertime and off-road duty, so it's my gaps is going to be whatever they feel like being, I guess. Oh, I might do a little better than that. Okay, let's see if we can push that one up a little bit. Well, it didn't help a whole lot. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So, you know, got a little more fiddling to do with that. Spray a little clear on the hood. I'm about to get her done. Hopefully this evening I'll have it all done, everything I'm going to do to it. Got to throw some tag lights on the back. I got the backup lights working. A bunch of goofy little stuff. But anyway. Well, got the fenders on and the hood's clear coated now. Best I could. I sort of ran out of clear, so it's not the best job, but anyways, looks better. And so it's pretty much ready to go now. Kind of a little sad to see the old truck go, but a little late now. But I've got three other four-wheel drive projects, so in order to get to them and get them done, this one needs to go. So bye, Big Bertha. Later.